In the headlines, President Muhammadu Buhari nominates 7 new ministers, seeks Senate confirmation. Chief Justice of Nigeria replies Supreme Court justices on deplorable conditions of courts. Passengers stranded as fuel scarcity hits Lagos. And on the foreign scene, Russia says death penalty not ruled out for captured U.S. citizens. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. President Muhammadu Buhari has forwarded the names of 7 ministerial nominees to the Senate for screening and confirmation. Buhari's letter was read on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday by Senate President Ahmed Lawan at the start of plenary. The report.
Following the resignation of some cabinet ministers ahead of the 2023 general election, President Muhammadu Buhari this Tuesday forwarded names of nominees to fill the vacuum. The nominees are to replace ministers in his cabinet who had resigned to contest the presidential primaries of the All Progressive Congress as well as other offices.
I have the honor to forward the underlisted ministerial nominees for confirmation by the Senate. 1. Henry Ikechukwu Iko, Abia State. 2. Umana Okon Umana, Akwa Ibom State. 3. Ekuman Nkama Joseph Nkama, Ebonyi State. 4. Goodluck Nana Opia, Imo State. 5. Umar Ibrahim Eliakub, Kano State. 6. Ademola Adewole Adegorie, Ondo State. And 7. Odum Udi, River State. Copies of their curriculum vitae are attached herewith. It is my hope that this exercise will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the distinguished members of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards. Signed, yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari.
Others are Uche Oga, who contested and won the fractional Abia State governorship primaries, and Tayo Alasho-Adura, who contested and lost the APC senatorial primaries. Some of the cabinet ministers who resigned for the purpose of contesting the presidential primaries include Godswill Akpabio, Rotimi Amechi, Ogbonnaya Onu, and Chukwuemeka Nwajuba.
And as preparations for the 2023 general elections intensify, stakeholders have stressed the need to enhance political participation among youth, women and persons with disabilities, especially in the formal spaces, has been stressed. The non-governmental organization Believers Youth need to be more involved in political activities and civic spaces in order to help proper solutions to national challenges. The report.
Despite the signing into law of Not Too Young to Run bill into law by President Muhammadu Buhari on the 31st of May 2018, Nigerian political space is still mostly dominated by political actors who have been on the scene since the advent of the present dispensation in 1999 and in some cases before. To address this, the Stakeholders Development Network, in collaboration with Independent National Electoral Commission and some on-air personalities, intensified voters' registration campaign in some communities in Rivers State.
It is high time that women and young people, youths, become a part of the system. So women and youths need to be in the process. When I mean in the process, they have to also belong to political parties. They also have to gain positions within the political party. So we want to see more youths persons with disability, women, we want to see them gain recognition by having, positions in the political parties and representing the interests of that demographic.
Representatives of INEC urged residents of the states who are yet to register or get their permanent voters cards, PVC, to use the opportunity of the ongoing continuous voter registration to get registered. They also called on those who registered but abandoned their PVC with INEC to endeavor to collect them. Some residents who spoke with newsmen urged the Nigerians to participate fully in the elections to help the country's democracy grow.
If you know you have registered, do not do double registration. Double registration will make it not to come at all. Don't say you are being disfranchised. The reason is, if you register and you don't see your own, make you know say don't register one time before and you don't forget.
We cannot overemphasize the importance of this continuous voter registration. Okay, everyone has to come out in mass to register so that they will be able to exercise their civic responsibility come 2023.
We are here today educating people to get their PVC. We started this right from my community, Dumo Kwachi, and today we are after Osoba and after Rumola, here educating people to go out to go and get their PVC.
If you look at the statistics available in Nigeria, you would agree with me that the percentage of participation of youths is pretty much low. So we want to see that inclusivity, capturing more youths, capturing more women, capturing more people living with disability.
The group urged Nigerians, especially youths, not to just campaign on social media, but participate actively in the electioneering process, as INEC does not conduct elections on social media nor counts ballot boxes on Twitter and Instagram.
The All Progressive Congress Campaign Committee for the July 16th governorship election in Osun State has accused the People's Democratic Party of destroying campaign billboards of its candidate, Governor Adegboyega Oyetola. The Director General of the APC Campaign Committee, Senator Basiru Ajibola, at a press conference in Osogbo, accused the PDP of sponsoring thugs who destroyed Oyetola's campaign billboards and causing breach of peace in the state. Basiru said PDP was using thugs led by one Olamilekon Oyeyemi Ajagungbade, otherwise known as Emir, to carry out the destruction. Reacting to the allegations, the PDP former Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Prince Diron Odeyemi, said the APC was behind the destruction of Oyetola's billboards as a strategy to blackmail PDP. Odeyemi said since the Governor Oyetola is in control of the security apparatus in the state, he should deal with the thugs rather than resorting to complaining and name-calling.
Which you can present to the of the press at this press conference. The next question you may want to ask is, how did we know they were behind it? These are facts. Violence at the PDP Secretariat in Osogbo. In the early hours of June 9, 2022, we got an intelligence that a certain known political thug in the state by name Olamilekan Oyeyemi Ajagungbade, otherwise known as Emir, had been contracted by the PDP to carry out the destruction as part of the conditions to sign him on for further destructive operations in the state ahead of the elections. And by the next day, the destruction began. By Sunday, June 12, 2022, Emir moved to the PDP Secretariat to dislodge another set of hoodlums that had been working for the PDP before his arrival. This led to a shootout between the two groups as guns, machetes, and other dangerous weapons were freely used. Again, we have video documentary evidence of what transpired. In the end, several other passers-by, including some investigative journalists who were in Osun for an assignment, fell victim of the dastardly attack.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in Rivers State has confirmed the arrest of one of the security guards attached to its Obio Akpo area office by agents of the Department of State Security on allegation of extortion of money from members of the public. Statement signed by the Public Affairs Officer, Geraldine Ekelemu, on behalf of the Resident Electoral Commissioner, Obo Efanga, said INEC has zero tolerance for acts of extortion by its staff and would ensure that security agencies investigate the matter and any other allegation of illegality by its officials to ensure that every infraction is redressed and punished. The Commission, while advising members of the public to avoid acts of desperation that could render them vulnerable to fraudsters taking advantage of them, also encouraged them to report attempts of extortion to INEC or the security agencies. The Commission reaffirmed that all INEC offices in Rivers State are open and attending to potential registrants in the ongoing exercise to ensure that all eligible Nigerians get their voters' cards and participate in elections. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, has responded to 14 justices of the Supreme Court bench who had accused him of depriving them of their entitlements. The justices said their annual foreign training meant to enhance capacity building for the country's judicial process has been blocked by Justice Muhammad, while there had been no increase in their allowance for diesel and a lack of internet services to their residences and chambers. The justices also complained that they were plagued by accommodation problems, epileptic electricity supply to the Supreme Court, lack of drugs at the Supreme Court clinic, while their rundown vehicles had not been replaced. The writing of a protest letter by justices of the Supreme Court is very unusual, which is why the CJN refrained from joining issues with the justices until the letter was leaked. The response of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, contained in a statement by his media aide, Ahuraka Yusuf Isa, reminded his accusers that judges in all climes were to be seen and not heard. Justice Muhammad pointed out that nevertheless, he had managed the resources at the disposal of the Apex Court effectively, adding that the Supreme Court was also affected by the economic and socio-political climate prevailing in the country. Now to security matters, where gunmen have released the head of Azira village in Toro local government area of Bauchi State, Yahya Abubakar, and his son Habibu. Confirming their release, Public Relations Officer, Bauchi State Command, SP Ahmad Wakil, said they were released on Tuesday morning and have been reunited with their family. It is unclear if a ransom was paid by the family of the village head before they were released. Gunmen invaded and attacked Azira at about 2 a.m. on Saturday and kidnapped the village head and his son. The corpses of the 4 out of 6 victims of a boat accident along the Otuan and Ayama communities of Southern Ijo Local Government Council in Bayelsa State have been found. Of the 4 victims, 2 were identified to be corps members. It was gathered that the boat accident, which occurred on Saturday at about 4 p.m., was reportedly caused by bad weather, poor visibility, and lack of life jackets for the passengers. The fuel scarcity that spread to Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, over the weekend is now biting harder, with motorists spending full nights at filling stations. Abdulatif Aliyu reports that many stations have run out of the product, while black marketers now make brisk sales. A report.
Checks by Trust TV within Ikeja and its environs indicated that most petrol stations that are shut down said they have run out of stock, while only few were dispensing. In the few filling stations where the product is available, long queues of between 500 meters and beyond were witnessed as motorists scrambled to get petrol. Commercial and private vehicle owners lamented spending long hours on the queues. At a mobile station along the Abofomi Awolowo Road near the popular island roundabout Ikeja, the queue had extended beyond island onto Aromeri Road. Also at the filling station, many black marketers were observed making brisk business. They sell a 5-liter gallon for 2,500 naira to 3,000 naira, depending on the bargaining power of the motorist. Also, an NNPC retail station along Ishere Ogunosi Road near Omole was also dispensing with long queue of motorists as at press time. The situation is similar at a private station adjacent Grammar School Police Station, Ojodu, where a litre is sold for 175 naira. The situation has deepened the early morning dreadlock emanating from Aina Street, outbound Ogunose Road.
Yeah, I've been here since after 7. With the manager told us that there will be fuel, they will start selling by 10. So we've been here. All of a sudden, he told us that the MD said that should not sell. So we just stand there waiting for maybe they will sell.
I've been here since around 7 in the morning.
Wow.
I could not be able to go to my office because I don't have fare. And they were not selling. The information to our disposal was that they have fuel they will sell by 10. And this is almost 12:30. We are still here.
This is terrible. I was here since 8 o'clock, and the line is not moving at all, and they are selling for cake. Others, we are in a regular line. Others are going in from other side, which means they say they know them. They are the regular customer. I don't know why that one should be. All of us, we are on the queue since 8 o'clock.
The scarcity, it was learned, has worsened in the last 24 hours as independent marketers under the aegis of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, said it is no longer sustainable to sell the product at the official price of 165 naira or 166 naira per litre. IPMAN had held a press conference on Monday where it explained its predicament with the current price of PMS at private depot. Secretary of IPMAN in Lagos, Akim Bolongu, said there is no way members can sell less than 180 naira per litre. It, however, advised members to sell at a sustainable price within their environment and make sure that the price is displayed on their dispensers.
Now to health matters, where a total of 41 confirmed cases of monkeypox and 1 death have so far been recorded across the country this year. The Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, Dr. Efidayo Adetifa, stated this on Monday during the Federal Ministry of Health's bi-weekly COVID-19 update in Abuja. He said among the 41 cases so far reported in 2022, there had been no evidence of any new or unusual transmission of the virus, nor changes in its clinical manifestation documented in Nigeria as compared to other countries. He added that no death had been recorded from COVID-19 in the last 5 weeks. You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, the return of olden days kitchen utensils. This and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. President Buhari sends ministerial lists to Senate for screening. And Chief Justice of Nigeria replies Supreme Court justices on deplorable conditions of courts. Moving on to other news now. The Sokoto State Governor, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, has approved the release of 1 billion naira for the payment of registration fees and upkeep allowances to some indigent students. The Permanent Secretary, Sokoto State Scholarship Board, Alhaji Bello Isa, who stated this while speaking to Trust TV in Sokoto, said the beneficiaries comprise students sponsored by government within and outside the country. Isa explained that a sum of 188.5 million naira is for the payment of registration fees to 5,643 students for both fresh and regular students at Sokoto State University, and 312 million naira was for 7,096 students at Usman Danfodio University. He added that 89,100 and 15,000 pounds is for the tuition fees and upkeep allowance to some regular students at various institutions in London, Canada, and other countries across the world.
So in some days to come, we will be traveling to Turkey, Sudan, and Egypt in order to find a suitable institution where these children will be placed for them to continue with their studies. Equally, His Excellency in his wisdom has approved that myself, the Permanent Secretary of the Scholarship Board, and one other official should travel to 3 different countries on facility tour, that is Turkey, Egypt, and Sudan. We are directed by His Excellency to go and have a on-the-spot fiscal assessment of the institutions and the facilities in this country.
Now, old kitchen tools such as a grinding stone, coal and clay pots, among others, are gradually fading out in many homes as people gradually embrace modern cooking utensils. Now, despite this paradigm shift, many people still prefer the traditional ones as they can be readily seen in their homes. With the current economic reality, housewives in Osun State are returning to the old kitchen utensils, which many argue are better in some ways. Hamid Oegbade files in this report as presented from our studio.
These utensils belong to the yesteryears and can hardly be found in many homes in the city. Those who use them say they prefer them to modern kitchen utensils. Meanwhile, as modernity takes its toll on these and many others, some housewives in Osun State are returning to old kitchen tools because of high cost of modern utensils. Mrs. Eunice Babalola says she uses grinding stone and clay pot for her cooking, adding that she enjoys them.
In our house, we are still using it because when you use it, when you want to cook, you will know that there is a special taste that you too you will enjoy. Then the way you grind it, you will know that this thing is okay.
Mr. Gbenle Adebi shares his experience of clay pot and grinding stone in the village while growing up.
Know about clay pot because I've lived in the village and where we were using clay pot for cooking, and I know that clay pots, after cooking for 4 or 5 hours, the cook or the soup inside that clay pot will still be hot.
Madam Grace Dari say pepper mashed on the grinding stone and soup cooked with clay pots tastes more natural and are believed to be healthy.
The advantages in using the stone to grind pepper, it makes our pepper to be very, very smooth and is very, very tasteful when you use that the pepper you grind on stone than that of machines.
Although others differ with her stand, there is a general consensus that old kitchen utensils are more affordable and readily available for those who still rely on them.
The Adamawa State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested 296 drug offenders and seized 3,107.7 kilograms of different illegal drugs. The State Commandant of the NDLEA, Femi Agbawolu, made the disclosure at a press briefing in Yola to mark the United Nations International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking. Salis Lawan reports that the arrest and seizures were made between June 2021 and May 2022. The report.
The briefing is in commemoration of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking, which is celebrated annually, with the team addressing drug challenges in health and humanitarian crisis. The Adamawa State Commander, Femi Agbawolu, said it is a clear call to address transnational drugs challenges arising from crisis. It is also aimed at protecting the right to health for the most vulnerable, including children and youth, people using drugs, those with disorders, and those who need access to controlled medicines.
We recorded a total seizure of 2,702.167 kilograms in the period under review. Tramadol, which is a controlled drug that has found its, that has found way to, on the streets of our country. We have Tramadol 146.806 kilograms. Codeine-based syrup, we have a total drug seizure of 61.5 440 kilograms. Cocaine, which is a type of drug. Cocaine will have a total seizure of 0.013 kilograms.
The commander said the command had counseled and rehabilitated 45 drug dependents in the period under review, while 104 drug offenders were prosecuted in the court of law. He said there are 71 pending cases, while 51 have been convicted.
We also have phenobarbital with a total seizure of 2.29 kilograms. And in the course of our job, in the course of enforcement, we came across ammunition, 28 rounds of live ammunition, and one locally made pistol with a military camouflage.
He also commended the resilience of officers and men of NDLEA while reiterating commitment toward ridding the state of illicit drugs, drug abuse and trafficking. The State Command has organized a week-long activity to mark the 2022 World Drug Day. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
And now a look at the foreign scene, where the Kremlin has said on Tuesday that the United States citizens captured in Ukraine were subject to court decisions and did not rule out that they could face the death penalty. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that the 2 U.S. citizens reportedly captured in Ukraine were soldiers of fortune who should be held responsible for their crimes. The comments by Peskov made during an interview with NBC News released on Monday were the first time a Russian official had directly acknowledged captured U.S. military veterans Alexander Dryky and Andy Huhn. Families of the men have said they last heard from the pair, both residents of Alabama, on June 8th in the Kharkiv region along the border with Russia. The men had traveled to Ukraine to support the fight against the continuing Russian invasion, their families have said. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron has rejected a resignation offer from Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne before talks with the opposition seeking to end the deadlock sparked by his failure to secure a majority in parliamentary elections. The development comes on Tuesday as Macron hosts far-right leader Marine Le Pen and other political party chiefs for rare talks at the Élysée Palace as he seeks solutions to an unprecedented situation that risks plunging his second term into crisis 2 months after it began. Macron's Together alliance won 244 seats, well short of the 289 needed for an overall majority in a low turnout vote that resulted in an abstention rate of 53.7%. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.